is a huge shift for marketers who think about intentional goals and then strategies associated with achieving those goals. And you're talking about the goals of building a relationship.
Right.
So how is it that you prove out sort of day in and day out to your partners that in fact this relationship building really has business impact?
Well, it's a very big series of experiments, right? The cool thing about social is every single day you have an opportunity to create something and get it out there in the world. You're not working for 9 months on a big campaign and unveiling the campaign and then hoping that you get a great response. You're able to get something out there and get a response immediately. And so we measure every single day what's happening in the business. What do people think about that particular piece of content? How do they engage with it? But then we do have those tentpole moments within social, like the mobile ordering app, where we're able to show the direct return. And so a lot of what I do is educate our leadership team about what's happening with our results, what's happening with the momentum we're driving through social, and how it's helping to build the brand, but also in a lot of cases drive sales, because people do get excited when we're able to use those channels to announce the latest and greatest innovation from Taco Bell.
Your example of talking about the engagement on Twitter between Old Spice and Taco Bell is a great example. Are there any others that, if you had to explain why it is that social is such a vital part of how Taco Bell lives in the marketplace today, what might that be?
The great news is we have so many examples over the last few years. We've continued to lean into our strategy, and we continue to create work that gets people talking about the brand. Probably my favorite one recently was with the taco emoji. So early on at Taco Bell, we were just always talking as a team about how there was no taco emoji. There's an emoji for everything else. There's 13 different clock emojis. There's, a VCR emoji. People don't even know what that is. And there was no taco emoji. And it really bugged us, but it also is something our consumers ask for all the time. Why is there no taco emoji? Because people wanted to use it to express themselves. So we said, well, if we really care about this cause, what would we do about it as a person and as a friend? And we said, we have an influence. Taco is a part of our name. Let's post on change.org that we are going to have a petition for a taco emoji. So we created the petition. We posted it right around the time that Apple was talking about the latest release and how a taco was being considered for part of the update, that they were going to include a taco emoji. So we actually got this petition going and we rallied the troops. We had over 30,000 signatures and over 500 million media impressions, because every time someone talked about the latest update and all the emojis that were included, Taco Bell was a part of that story. So you get to get your community involved in something, but also it's a part of the headline, right? And so Taco Bell is continuing to be a part of culture. I'm not a big fan of hijacking cultural events. That's something you hear a lot about in social. It's, oh, this is trending on Twitter, and so our brand needs to jump on it. But when you can find the power of something that people are talking about that relates to your brand and that you also care about, and you find that intersection of passion with your community and your brand, that is gold. And so I think it's about listening for those right moments where you need to show up and where people want you to show up, and you're not just trying to be in the news for the sake of being in the news.
That's great. This fabulous evolution that you've been here to not only be part of, but to help lead, what is it that, as you look back, was the biggest single barrier to be able to move down this road that you've walked down?
It's an interesting question, because I don't think that we ever think about things as barriers. We've been so focused and knowing that we wanted to build this right relationship with our customers that we've just continued to attack things on a daily basis, right? It is a series of planning and attacking the goal daily versus just those big events. We've continued to reinforce the importance of social media with everybody in this building. I feel like everybody's kind of a part of that journey. If you work here, even our team members, and getting them involved in this journey with us, I think people get excited about the opportunity for social. I guess the biggest challenge is really that it changes all the time. Mm-hmm. So you constantly have to be reevaluating it. A platform that is interesting today and that all of your consumers are obsessed with could be gone tomorrow when they move on to the next platform. Mm-hmm. So you really have to have your ear to the ground about what the audience is interested in and showing up where they want to have a relationship with your brand. And you constantly need to be reinventing yourself. staying true to who you are, but making sure that you're culturally relevant. And that is a challenge because it's a marathon and a sprint at the same time. And so you have got to be looking ahead to see where the world is going and making sure that you're there first.
It's curious, you didn't say, in answer to that question, you did not say, well, getting our marketing team to move from the investments that they were very comfortable making in more traditional media to an untested platform. You didn't say that.
Well, that is always something that marketers are thinking about, right? And
right.
we've called social the power of the and. It's not that we've now gone and swung to one side of the fence and we're only doing social media.
Right.
It is a very powerful tool in our toolkit. And we continue to have amazing advertising, amazing digital advertising, radio. I mean, it's a combination of the entire media mix where you can really tap into the potential of how technology is changing things.
Right.
And you have to consider all of the pieces because, the people on social, they're our hardcore fans, they're those amazing advocates, but they're not our entire community of people that are coming to Taco Bell every day.
Right. So to wrap up, you talked about two important things. One is relationship building and the other one is authenticity. So are there any other tips that you might give other like companies who are looking to get much more involved in using social media the way you've talked about using social media? Any tips or advice for them?
The first thing I would do is really get clear on who you are as a brand. I would go back and think about, not just for social, but as a brand, what are your core principles, your beliefs, and your tenets? And how does that give you an advantage in social? Not everyone is going to have the same strategy, or I hope they don't, because we've really built something that we feel is unique to our brand. But what's your brand all about? And use that as your superpower to find the way to break through in social. The other thing I would say is just get out there. You can talk about it forever. You can think through the right deep strategy and try and perfect it. But the best way you're going to learn is just create content, get in front of your community, and make sure you're listening so that you can continue to work on how you grow in the space.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.